Here we have the deck I've affectionately named Tyvar's Blob that we created for Magic Concepts Part 1, going over basic card types and basic gameplay. It features the Consuming Blob, which gets stronger the more card types you have in your graveyard. Tyvar, Jubilant Brawler, lets you dig through cards, throw them into your graveyard, bring back creatures like Dune Mover, who will help you gather more lands, and protection via Tyvar's stand to make sure that the blob stays out and can actually do some damage. The blob itself will will make copies of itself every turn. We've got some removal in the form of Annihilating Glare and the Skyfisher Spider itself. So we're going to go ahead and go into some games here. The first game I'm going to start off against Sparky, just to make sure that the deck kind of functions how I want it to function. So we'll go here into a bot match with Tyvar's Blob. And we'll see just kind of if the deck even functions to begin with. And then we'll do some games on the bronze ladder, because that's where I'm at. So we've got swamps, we've got forests, we've got spells, we've got 2 copies of Blob. So yeah, we'll definitely keep this. I mean, I can cast a Canker Bloom pretty quick. So I'm taking some extra time here to go over the mulligan rules, because that's not something that we went over in the lesson. That's part of the actual gameplay portion. So explaining what a mulligan is, what the consequences are, and that we're just going to go ahead and keep this hand
Ready to play.
And roll with it. So we do play 1 land for our turn. We pass over to Sparky. Turn 2, let's go ahead and play our land for the turn. We will tap both of our lands for mana. We can see it entering our mana pool there. And then we are going to cast Canker Bloom. Sparky does nothing but pass the turn back. So it's time to go to combat, I suppose. So yeah, we'll proceed to combat. We will attack with Canker Bloom. Sparky has no blockers, so we will deal 3 damage directly to Sparky, reducing their life total from 20 down to 17. And once Sparky gets down to 0, I'll win the game. See, Sparky casts their first spell with the zombies, which will effectively stop my attack from Canker Bloom. So we kind of go over let's see, are we going to cast the spider first, maybe? We're kind of going over how during combat with Canker Bloom, the zombie will either block and they'll kill each other, or Sparky doesn't have to block and can just take the 3 damage. Sparky chooses to block here, so instead of doing my damage to Sparky, I'll do it to the zombie, and the zombie will do its power's worth of damage to my creature, and they kill each other. I still have 4 mana open, so we will put it all into my mana pool there, and cast my Skyfisher Spider, so I now have a 3/3 on the board. And Sparky casts the 1/1. Alright, well, that's good for me. So I can just attack on in. If Sparky wants to block, then, I mean, that's easy removal. Otherwise, I can cast my second spider and potentially kill it with the first one. But I think attacking first is going to be the play here. But we definitely want to play our land for the turn. We'll go to combat. We'll swing in. Like I said, Sparky will either block or take the damage. It looks like Sparky is choosing not to block this time and to keep their creature alive. So I have the 5 mana. I can cast my Consuming Blob. It's only a 1/2 at the moment, but it does make a copy of itself on the end step, and will continue to do so for each of my turns. So the more cards I get into the graveyard now, the higher power and toughness those are going to get, and the more troublesome they're going to be for my opponent. So since their little 1/1 isn't going to be able to kill any of my creatures, there's no reason not to swing with everything. And we'll get in 5 damage. So I can play my spider now. It has the ability, when it enters the battlefield, I can sacrifice a creature to destroy a creature, or any non-land permanent, actually. So I'll go ahead and just sacrifice the token, since I'll be getting another one back on my end step, to destroy their only creature. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and play my land for the turn since I haven't yet, proceed to my end step, and make another token. Alright, Sparky throws another creature out, and I drew a Canker Bloom. Now, if I sacrifice my Dross Pits there on the left, I can get a land into my graveyard. It has that ability there at the bottom. I can sacrifice it to draw a card. So by doing this, I will actually put a land into my graveyard, which will grow my blobs, so they are now 2 power, 3 toughness, and won't die to the Witch's Familiar. Let's see, my Undead Butler, when it comes into the battlefield, lets me mill 3 cards. I unfortunately didn't mill anything new, so that's sad. Had I tapped my lands manually instead of letting it auto-tap, I actually could cast the Canker Bloom here too if I played my land for the turn. So we're going to go ahead and swing in with the 3/3s because, I mean, I'm not going to have lethal this turn anyway. And we'll make another Blob token. So even with the rats, Sparky doesn't have near enough creatures to stop my attack here. I draw Tyvar's stand, which isn't going to matter. Yeah, this game's over. All I have to do is attack, and I get lethal. So we're just going to straight up go to combat, swing all out. I don't know why I'm keeping the Undead Butler back, just in case she has some kind of combat trick, maybe. Never know. Sparky makes her blocks. I will cast Tyvar's stand for the indestructible to save my spider from the death touch. I don't really need to, but it's a good teaching mechanism. Plus, the instant going into my graveyard does grow my blobs.
Want to play again?
So there's that benefit as well. But we get the easy victory against Sparky. The deck does kind of work. So let's go ahead and try out against some real opponents. As far as a showcase game, that one doesn't quite cut it because, well, Sparky died too quickly. I didn't get a chance to really see a lot of my different card types. The enchantments didn't show up, the planeswalkers didn't show up, my sorceries didn't show up. So my blobs really only made it up to a 3/4. So we're going to try doing some more games to see if I can't find some better showcases of the different card types. So instead of a bot match, we're just gonna go into ranked standard here. Yes, I'm bronze because I don't play as much as I should. And, well, I'm terrible at this game anyway. So we find our opponent here. So the opponent goes first, choosing to mulligan or not. I've got both colors of mana. I've got a variety of cards that I can play. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and keep this. And we drew Tyvar's stand. Awesome. Alright, so my first course of business is to get a creature down, probably the Butler. And then I can actually kill the whatever my opponent casts with Annihilating Glare. I'll get a sorcery in my graveyard plus the Butler. And then the Butler's ability will let me pull something back out of my graveyard, with depending on what I mill here. Hopefully a Blob. Nope, just lands. Alright, well that sucks. Maybe I won't do the Annihilating Glare plan. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, that's a flyer. And a Toxic Flyer. Oh, that's bad. Well, and I drew Audacity, my enchantment. Awesome. Awesome. So I've got pretty much all my card types here. I just have to figure out how to win the game. So I can go Canker Bloom. It'll put me a body out. My best bet is to pressure their life total and make them block, because I don't really have a good removal here. I could put Audacity on the Undead Butler to make it a lethal attacker to the creature anyway. But I really kind of want to save that for the Blob, because that'll give my Blob trample. So I just kind of want to pass the turn and hope that they don't have anything worse. Reservoir, that's worse. Okay, that's a lot worse. Oh shit. What am I gonna do here? Well, I do have an Annihilating Glare, so I might be able to kill it. It does have Ward 2, so I'm gonna have to pay 3 mana plus sack a creature. But honestly, that might be worth it. So the Kraken's ability happens every combat. It's summoning sick now, so I don't have to worry about it attacking. So we'll just go ahead and decline the trigger. Oh, I didn't decline the trigger? I should have declined the trigger there. Whoops. Well, I just gave the opponent a free fish then for no reason. I could have tapped it in anticipation of attacking in. But honestly, I think my best bet is just going to be to kill it with Uniting Glare. I could drop Tyvar, see what his -2 uncovers. But I think Annihilating Glare is my best out at this point. So we'll go ahead and sack a creature. Yeah, we'll sack the Butler because it's the lowest impact. That's probably the wrong choice. I probably should sack the Canker Bloom, because then the Butler could get the Canker Bloom back when it dies. So I'm going to attack first, and then we're going to do the Annihilating Glare. No sense in leaving damage on the board. Like I said, I probably should sack the Canker Bloom, because that way when the Butler eventually dies, I can get the Canker Bloom back with it. But for the moment, the Canker Bloom has the most power to pressure my opponent. I accidentally used the Undead Butler's ability anyway, so he got exiled instead of going to my graveyard. So, yeah, don't have a creature type in there anymore, so I was just bad all around. And then that happens. So, yeah, now my opponent has a Dominus, along with a Flying Toxic, and this is getting way out of hand. Luckily, my spider does have that ability that I can sacrifice a creature to kill something, but it looks like I'm going to put Audacity on the Cankerbloom and make it a 5-power attacker and go swinging in. If he wants to block with his Dominus, I will absolutely make that trade. If not, then I'm dealing 5 damage and putting a decent clock on my opponent. And then I have Tyvar that I can drop afterwards to either untap it or probably honestly just -2 to mill some more stuff into my graveyard and then let him kill Tyvar instead of attacking me. So opponent doesn't block, I get to do 5 damage. We'll throw Tyvar out as a scapegoat. So we will go ahead and -2, mill some stuff. Well, there's my Blob. Unfortunately, it's not low enough mana cost to get back. Had I not exiled my Undead Butler, I could have gotten it back with Tyvar's stand, but I was stupid. So I am in a bit of a pickle. So now opponent's got pretty much a free swing on me. Undercover Operative is gonna copy the Dominus. Isn't Dominus legendary? Yep, Dominus is legendary. So he has to sacrifice the... I mean, he sacrifices the original that doesn't have the shield counter, but still, he kind of goofed there. So Tyvar dies, I get some more poison. But now with the shield counter, he actually can block my Cankerbloom without destroying his Dominus, and I'll lose my Cankerbloom, so that's kind of bad for me. But I do have my spider. Let's see. Yeah, his trigger doesn't really do anything for me here. Mainly I just need the blocker so that I can stop that stupid 2/3 poison flyer. Mainly I'm just trying to stop his attack at this point, stall out the board a bit, and let me find my Blob. I've got plenty of creature types in my graveyard. I just need to hold out until I can put one on the field. Opponent's making his attacks. You sure you want to do all that? Alright. So I'm thinking he might have some kind of combat trick to protect his flyer, but nope, he just threw it away. Alright, well, I guess that works for me. And another Kraken. Great. Oh my god. Alright. Yeah, Evolving Adaptive grows, sure does. Oh, a Blob. Alright, so I got me a Blob. Now, is that gonna be enough? Oh, it's my combat step, so the Kraken triggers, I can tap it if I want to. For example, if I wanted to swing in. I don't think I will, though. I don't think I'm going to attack. Actually, attacking with Canker Bloom into the Kraken might sound like a dumb idea, but with the Kraken blocking the Canker Bloom, it would die, the enchantment would go to my graveyard, and my blobs would grow to 5/6. So even though it sounds like a bad move, killing a 5/2 creature, I would be gaining 2 other 5-power creatures. Um, but on my opponent's turn, I'm going to go ahead and tap down his Kraken with my Canker Bloom because I want to keep my 5-power creature for right now. So he's not going to be swinging in with a 6/6. He does get another unblockable fish. But there's not really much I can do about that. Oh, jeez. Okay, yep, he gets whatever that does. Alright, there's a lot of words there. Consider, surveil, draw a card. Okay, well, he's pretty much tapped out. He's only got, what, 1 mana open. So I don't really think he's got any tricks up his sleeve. Unfortunately, I really don't have much up my sleeve either. Let's go ahead and drop Audacity on my Blob because will give him trample. The Kraken is still tapped from my opponent's last combat step, so I don't have to worry about that. He's only got 3 blockers, and I've got 4 decently powered creatures against his 11 life total. So we'll just go ahead, jam in, because if I don't, he's going to kill me next turn anyway. Because he's got a 3/5 flyer that I really can't block, and 2 1/1 unblockables. So he's got 5 power on the board to kill me next turn. I either kill him now or bust. So he's making his blocks. He's going to chump the 4/5 with his 1/1, so that's not going to get through. He's going to kill my 3/3. So I've got my 6/5 trample Blob and my 5/2 trample Canker Bloom. We're going to cast Tyvar Stain on the Canker Bloom to, well, give it indestructible, but also to pump it up really big. The instant going to my graveyard pumps up my blobs as well, and I am able to trample through enough damage to kill my opponent. Barely. Whew. Alright, well. That was the match that really showed the deck's versatility and how it can really punch through damage. So that is a good example of what the deck can do. I think it's got a little too much technical nuance to it for a beginner game. So we're going to try again, see what else I can find. Maybe I can get something a little less complicated for a beginner lesson. Alright, once again, we've got our swamp, we've got our forest, we've got a grip of creatures that'll let me search through my deck. Yeah, we're good with this. Let's see what's opponent got. Was that white, blue, control, maybe? Alright, so here we are, turn 2, we can do a Dune Mover to get a 3rd land, which I'm probably going to do, which I probably should do. So here we'll once again showcase our mana pool, cast the Dune Mover, so he has an enter the battlefield ability, so we will search for a basic land card, put it on top. So now I know I'm going to make my land drop next turn. Let's see. Let's see what his opponent's got. Nothing. Opponent misses their land drop, doesn't cast anything, and lets me cast my Undead Butler. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll mill 3 cards, hopefully get some different card types in my graveyard. So I got a creature, my spider, and some lands. Go ahead and swing in for 2. So yeah, let's see what's going on up there. And opponent still doesn't find any land and just concedes. So yeah, we can't use that match. I mean, getting land screwed is something, but that's not really something you want to showcase on the very first. Plus, I didn't even see a blob, so yeah, we can't use that match. But a win's a win. I'll take my prize for it. Let's go ahead and see if we can't play another match here real quick. Alrighty, well, we've got our lands, we've got Tyvar, and we've got no creatures. So this should be interesting. So opponent starts off with an Evolving Wilds to go grab whatever color they want, which is perfectly fine. Plains, it looks like. Okay, we drew another Tyvar stand. Alright, so we've got all the protection and nothing to protect. Let's go ahead and run Tyvar out.
Let's pound these metal monsters to dust.
Yeah, we'll go at -2 to do some milling. Maybe I'll hit a creature, maybe I won't. Alright, well, bricked on that one. Opponent found a creature though, and Blob. Alright, so our first creature spell is our most expensive. Wonderful. Alright, well, let's go ahead and +1, even though I don't think he's going to last that long. I don't have to, but I untap a creature because I don't have a creature, but yeah, let's, oh boy. Duelist is going to come in, kill Tyvar. So yeah, all I've got is a land and an instant in there. Yep, Duelist kills Tyvar. And another Blob. Holy crap. Well, alright, let's Tyvar again, because it's really the only thing I can do at the moment. Let's -2 to throw some more crap in the graveyard. And it's more lands. Wonderful.
We're in this together.
Well, I mean, I could give one of my opponent's creatures trample, I guess. Yeah, so I've got the Tyvar they killed and a bunch of lands. So Tyvar's dead. Oh, he's going to cast a critter first. Alright. Now we're going into combat. Yep, Tyvar's dead. I'm going to take 2 poison. Oh, and another creature. Great. Hey, there we go. The first creature that I'm actually able to cast. It only took me, 5 turns to find one. 6, 7, I don't know. And Elish Norn, Mother of Machines. Alright, so yeah. Yeah, there's no way I'm winning this one now. Absolutely not. I'm getting Dune Mover now, sure. So yeah, we'll throw the creature out, but Elish Norn blocks its enter the battlefield trigger, so I don't even get to land out of it. So I'm still not going to be able to cast Blob, which, even if Blob was fully powered, I still don't think would have enough power to really break through Elish Norn. Although Blob plus Tyvar's stand would be able to if, I mean, he blocked with it. But, I mean, opponent just has way too big of a board state. I really don't have any hope of winning this. I mean, this deck doesn't really have a whole lot of sweepers. Actually, it doesn't have any sweepers. So, I mean, no real card advantage because, well, I was mainly showcasing the different card types, not necessarily how to go about building a deck that could beat Elish Norn. So yeah, finally found my 5th land, and it's a tap land. So even Blob's not going to get me out of this. He's got enough power on board to just trample on through me, and there's nothing I can do about this. You know, if you don't find your lands, you don't find your creatures, you just can't do it. So yeah. Alright, well that's a bad showcase of what the deck can't do. So let's see if we can't find something a little better here. Alright, so our opening hand has 2 mana and 3 2-drop creatures. That is definitely a keep. So once again, we're just kind of going over the mulligan rules. We're keeping our hand. This is the match that ended up making it into the final video. The opponent grabs their first land. And we'll go ahead and grab ours. Dune Mover will help us find land number 3. Because, yeah, now that I've got Blob in hand, I definitely want to make my land drops. So we'll drop Dune Mover, go find our 3rd land. And counterspell. Well, crap. The opponent drops there. Oh, we found another Dune Mover. Great. Let's windmill slam that. Once we'll showcase the mana going into the mana pool. Slam my Dune Mover onto the battlefield. And get it countered again. Don't you love control? But that does showcase how instants can be used even on your opponent's turn, so that's good. I've got an artifact and a creature in my graveyard, so my blobs are already doing good. Maestro's Charm, an instant being used at sorcery speed. I mean, yeah, I guess they're just tutoring for more counter spells or something. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't do that on my turn. That's kind of a bad use of an instant there. But, hey, whatever. They milled out Hostile Takeover, Struggle. Okay. Yeah, this is just a control deck. But they are tapped out, so let's go ahead and land a creature. Canker Bloom, Undead Servant. Probably the Servant. The mill will put some more creature types in my graveyard, hopefully. And I do have enough creatures in there that if he does die, I'd be able to use his ability and get something back. Is he gonna die? Opponent's doing the slow roll. They're thinking about it. Do I want to kill it? Do I want to kill? Nope. They're just going to go straight for my face. Alright, so they saw that when it dies text, and they're like, no, we don't want to give him another creature. We'll just shoot him in the face. Of course, I don't know why they used an instant to shoot me in the face on their turn. They could have saved it for their turn. I don't think opponent really knows how to play control very well. So now they're pretty much tapped out again, and I've got 4 mana and a spider in hand. So we'll go ahead and swing in, see if I can bait out any more. Nope. We'll go ahead and play it safe and drop the Canker Bloom. I don't want to get hit by another Make Disappear on my spider, because that would be bad. But I do have 2 creatures now. Oh. They're looking at it. They don't like that Canker Bloom. Hostile takeover. Oh, they're gonna board wipe. So they're gonna turn Canker Bloom into a 1/1 and then sweep the board, which doesn't really. I mean, it was gonna die anyway. Undead Butler triggers, so I can exile the Butler to get back a creature. I am definitely gonna take that Dune Mover because I need mana. And I drew Annihilating Glare. That's a sorcery. If I can put that sorcery in the graveyard, it'll increase my blobs. I could play the spider here. They are tapped out. But I want to make sure I land that Dune Mover and get my 5th land. Because that 5th land is going to be consuming blob mana. So I definitely would rather have that. So we'll grab the swamp, put it on top. Unfortunately, Glare is a sorcery, so I can't really cast it on my opponent's turn to kill whatever he puts out. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Strangle. Alright. Well, he's dead too. Sweet. I really don't care if they're in the graveyard, because I can get them back out of the graveyard. That's kind of how I built the deck. So we'll draw my swamp, we'll put it down, so I now have 2 black. If I cast Blob now, he does have mana open for Counterspell. He's got mana open for Burn. So I'm going to cast the Spider instead. Let the spider bait any counterspells or bait any burn. So that way my blob can land safely next turn, or whenever I pull my 6th mana to be able to protect it with Tyvar's Stand. So yeah, they're gonna try to kill it. I do have 2 copies of Tyvar's Stand. I could toss one out to protect the spider, but I really want that blob to stick, so I think I'm going to keep it. We'll let the spider go. I do exile it to gain a bunch of life. Completely forgetting that Calling a Professional prevents life gain. So, yeah, I kind of goofed there. But Maestro's Charm, okay, opponent's digging for more answers. Trying to keep that board clear. And I pull a Tyvar. So once again, I don't want to cast Blob without having protection up for it. So we'll drop Tyvar, we will -2, and we will get back that Dune Mover. So that way I can get my 6th land. And now with 6 lands, I should be able to cast Blob and keep green open to give it hexproof. With Tyvar's Stand. So yeah, I think that's my line here. So we'll get the Dune Mover out. It'll get its Enter the Battlefield trigger. We'll grab a land, any land, I don't really care. And I think I'm I think I'm getting there. I think I'm in a pretty decent position here. Control does have 3 cards in hand, which isn't very good for me, but I've got a blob ready to come down, and it's going to be pretty... What the heck? Arcane Bombardment. Alright, well, there's an enchantment. That's good. That means I can talk about enchantments during the video. Since I haven't pulled my Audacity yet. So we'll go ahead and swing in. We'll take 2 damage, get some poison counters. I don't really care about that. We'll untap him just for the +1. He's tapped out. Yeah, let's go for it. It's blob time. So tapped out means no counter spells. We get a blob, and blob makes a token. So have fun, opponent. What you got? Unfortunately, the tokens don't copy themselves, just the original. So the original is what I want to really protect. Arcane Bombardment triggers off of the Tainted Indulgence, so he's going to draw 2 cards, get something under Bombardment. Looks like a Make Disappear. Yep. So now whenever they cast their first instant or sorcery, they can copy Make Disappear. So basically, every instant in my opponent's hand is now a counterspell. So they are going to bounce my token. I do have Tyvar stand. I can block it. I can give it hexproof with Tyvar stand, but I want to keep those for my blob, for the main one. So we're just going to go ahead and let it bounce. I can make more tokens. I can't make more originals. So we'll go ahead and pass the turn. Sure, we'll play Hunter's Maze, I guess. It's a land. I should have -2'd Tyvar before attacking. I would have had the chance of growing the blob a little bit more. But I didn't, so we'll just do 6. We'll -2 him now to grow the blob. Get something back. Oh, no. I'm gonna +1 to untap the blob to block his non-defenders. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I should absolutely not have done that. There's no reason I should have +1'd him there. I should have just done a -2. But hey, whatever. Opponent casts Bombardment number 2. That seems like overkill. But maybe he just doesn't have anything left in his hand. I don't know. I draw another Tyvar. Okay. So we'll -2 Tyvar. We will mill... did we just mill? Yeah, we milled Audacity and a second Tyvar. So we'll get Canker Bloom back. I've got 14 power on the board. Let's go attacking, buddy. Oh yeah, plus Canker Bloom can get rid of Bombardment. So yeah, let's go. Alright, so opponent sees the writing on the wall, they give up. And we rank up into Bronze 1. Woo! So yeah, I think that's a good one. I think I can keep that one. It showcased the Planeswalker, it showcased the Blob. And opponent even had a nice enchantment to stick to the board to talk about. We saw instance. We didn't really see any sorcery interplay. But we saw the Dune Mover in action. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good one. I can go ahead and work with that, I think. So we'll go ahead and grab that one, put it into the video. And feel free to watch that. And we'll see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this kind of behind the scenes take on how the videos are made, and how the deck works and picking different things out. I'm looking at setting up a draft video for Phyrexia 1 here. It's going to be the next one that I do. Actually, it should already be out at this point. So yeah, go watch that too. And if you like these kind of behind the scenes videos, let me know in the comments. Leave the video a like, and I'll make more of them, and we'll see how things go. So yeah, definitely like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. It really helps me out. I also have a Patreon. Go over there. It's got Discord access so that you can help me make the different janky brews like this that will showcase in the Magic Concepts lessons. Honestly, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like making really weird brews and seeing how they work out and teaching people how to play. And your support really helps me do that. So yeah, do all of the call to actions, share this videos with your friends, hit up my Patreon for as low as $2 a month. And yeah, just any help you can provide will help me make more of these videos and really promote the game and help different people learn it. Because I mean, it's a wonderful game. It's been going strong for years, and I mean, I love it. It's certainly one of my favorite pastimes. So yeah, help me out, support the channel, support my Patreon, and I'll see y'all in the next video.